Welcome to Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, with your host, Steve Garrett, lifetime member of the National Corvette Museum, president of the Corvette Club of Kansas City, Missouri, and radio disc jockey at the #1 radio station in Kansas City for over 45 years. Here's Steve Garrett.
Thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, and the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. I appreciate you tuning in. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call them at 833-840-5334. You can listen to Corvette Today on all podcast platforms. You can also listen on your smart device. Just say, "Hey Google," or "Alexa, play the podcast called Corvette Today," and you're connected. And be sure to visit the Corvette Today website. It's CorvetteToday.com. You can access everything there, including the Corvette Today merchandise store. You can also join our Corvette Today Facebook group there as well. Also, make sure you sign up for the Corvette Today emails, notifications, and updates at CorvetteToday.ck.page. And if you like YouTube, be sure to subscribe to our Corvette Today YouTube channel. See all Corvette Today episodes on YouTube as well. And be sure to patronize our flagship sponsors of Corvette Today, mid-engine-corvetteforum.com, the forum that focuses on the new mid-engine C8 Corvette. Meet a lot of fellow Corvette enthusiasts like yourself at mid-engine-corvetteforum.com. Soul Performance Products. Developed and manufactured in the United States, the Soul Performance Products exhaust portfolio has been tailored to elevate the experience of the world's most exciting sports cars, including the latest generation of the Corvette. Soul Performance Products at SOULPP.com, the official performance exhaust of Corvette Today. Aerolarri Wheels, a true forged wheel with over 20 unique styles to choose from for your C8 and wide-body versions of the C7, C6, and C5 Corvette. It's an amazing value, starting at only $23.88 for a set of 4 fully forged wheels. And use the promo code CT111 and get $100 off your purchase. Visit aerolarri.com. That's AEROLARRI.com. And use the promo code CT111 for your $100 discount. Ciocca Corvettes. If you're a Corvette enthusiast, and I know you are since you're listening and watching Corvette Today, then you need to know about Ciocca Corvette. They're based in Atlantic City, where you can find over 100 new and pre-owned vets on the lot and inbound. Ciocca also ships Corvettes all over the country, custom ordered to your specifications. They're staffed with experienced pros who can answer all your questions. So don't compromise. Visit CioccaCorvette.com. That's CIOCCA Corvette.com and find out more. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. E5 Wheels. E5 Wheels is a passionate and dedicated wheel company that serves only Corvette. They make spun-forged wheels for your C8, C7, and C6 Corvette. With the best fitment in the industry, E5 Wheels ensures your wheels complement the aesthetics and functionality while optimizing the performance of your Corvette. Visit e5wheels.com or call them at 305-964-7429. And a shout out to Canadian Corvette Forum and Corvette Forum, welcoming Corvette enthusiasts from around the world. All right, let's do it. It's time to bring you the latest Corvette news and headlines with my pal Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger. Keith is here with me every other week, and together we keep you current and up to date on what's happening with America's sports car. Keith, welcome back to the show. By the way, Keith is very, very happy, very excited, feeling very young. He just took delivery of his brand new shiny Hysteria Purple E-Ray with a hardtop convertible. Congratulations, buddy.
Well, thanks, Steve. I mean, it is one heck of a car. I am so excited. I'm actually over the moon over it. Just one of these things that was a long time coming, something that eventually I never really thought would happen, but eventually it just started all coming together. And you wait around for a car for 5 years, and eventually when it falls into your lap, you're just like, I can't believe it. It didn't literally fall in my lap. There was a lot of work that went into getting it done, but yeah, we're pretty excited about it.
I'm glad, and congratulations again. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have Keith talk about his first impressions of the E-Ray at the end of the show, so be sure and stay tuned for that. Buddy, let's start off like we always do. Let's get a Corvette production update from the Bowling Green assembly plant.
Absolutely. So the 2025 model year has been running for about 2 months now. We're showing actually just about a little over 5,000 Stingrays have been completed, as well as 1,500 Z06s and about 380 E-Rays. The current total we have combined is 6,964 for 2025. And so like they did last year, they appear to be well on their way. Have not seen any kind of issues with production or anything like that. The workers did have election day off, which is standard for their contract. But other than that, they've been pumping out the cars. Looks like it's going to happen for the foreseeable future. So great job happening up there in Bowling Green.
That's fantastic. And those are pretty good, healthy numbers as well, aren't they?
Yeah, we talked about when we got the stats for last year, the 2024 model year. It's really what we thought was kind of like the perfect year for them. It was 12 months worth of production. I think they did a little over 42,000 cars total between the two shifts. If they could continue to do that while mixing in, we've got 3 models. We're going to have the 4th model with the ZR1. It's going to be a very diverse lineup of cars that are being produced. I would say things are going really well right now.
Absolutely right. And also, this is really cool, buddy. We found out the Corvette was the #1 sports car for buyers under 35 years of age.
We first heard this stat during the NCM anniversary show. Harlan Charles, who did the Chevrolet What's New with Corvette seminar, he confirmed that the average age of Corvette buyers has dropped during the first 5 years of C8 production. And it's actually now the #1 sports car for people under the age of 35, while also still maintaining its popularity with long-term fans like you and me. What Harlan said during a recent podcast with GM Authority, he says, we've done something I think is very hard to do. We managed to bring in new customers while still exciting the ones we've had who love it. We are able to give them their dream car, but then also to attract people who never thought about Corvette before. And of course, with that lineup, Stingray, Z06, and E-Ray, and then you got the ZR1 coming as the ultimate Corvette, there's a lot of good stuff there to choose from. So excellent word from Harlan. This has always been one of the concerns about would basically the Corvette age out because of its customer base. And no, the new Stingray, especially the convertible models, are really bringing in people that have never considered a Corvette before.
It's great to see that we're bringing some youth into the Corvette world and keeping that tradition going. Also, it was great to see we have a new insider video from Chevrolet about the ZR1 too, buddy.
Yeah, so Chevrolet does these videos. They call them Corvette Insiders. In this new video, we were introduced to Emma Mikalakis, who is a color materials designer. Emma talks about the return of competition yellow to Corvettes, and as well as the new Hysteria Purple. Both these colors were featured on the reveal of the ZR1, the coupe, and the convertible. She really thinks the competition yellow is going to go well with the car, and I cannot disagree with her with that. One of the things that I'm not really talked about in this video, but one of the things we've seen for the 2025s is, of course, Corvette had a reduction of available exterior colors, and we went from 14 down to 10. One of the things we learned, it's actually not just Corvettes that are going through a reduction of exterior choices, but it's other models throughout GM as well. I guess the thinking that they are saying is that by reducing the number of choices available, it does help simplify the manufacturing process when there's less colors to worry about, which I guess makes sense.
Yeah.
Can't really argue with that, but we're so used to having that broad lineup of colors, but we also had a lot of variations of a color. 3 or 4 grays with a silver, 2 blues. So it'd be nice to see a little bit more diversification over the 10 colors. It's just one of these things where a new color comes out. I love Hysteria. I've seen a lot of people not like Hysteria. And again, that's just whatever floats your boat sort of thing. We know people out there love their cacti. We know people out there love their Zeus bronze.
Yeah.
If there's a color out there that really hits home for you, don't listen to what the naysayers are doing. Do it for yourself.
You're absolutely right. Hysteria Purple is a really cool color too. I agree. Also, Keith, we saw a technical service bulletin for the 2024 and 2025 Corvettes with the PDR issues. Refresh my memory. I can't remember exactly what that issue was with the PDR.
Yeah, so this is, again, for people with 2024s and 2025s. What they're seeing is that the PDR might show a blank screen or nothing at all, or if they activate it, it might display a welcome screen, but then doesn't do anything after that. Steve, we joke sometimes that our cars are becoming more and more like computers every day.
Right.
And this is where it gets a little funky because Chevy's new service bulletin for this issue says reset the 12-volt battery by disconnecting the battery cables, holding them in contact for a full 5 minutes, which discharges any power remaining, and then you hook everything back up and turn it back on. So like a computer, you're essentially rebooting it. You're turning it off and turning it back on.
Right.
GM says this is a software anomaly. Most likely will go away after you perform that battery discharge, but occasionally there might be some additional issues. So if that's something that you tried and it's not working, take it into the dealership who can perform a deeper look into why your PDR might not be working. But again, when I heard turn it off and turn it back on, I slapped the forehead, Steve, and said, man, these things are like computers.
It's a Corvette reboot, buddy.
That's right.
Also, it was really cool to see the Aussies are getting their right-hand drive E-Rays, and they did a hot lap, and it was neat to see some of their first impressions of the E-Ray.
Yeah, so the 2025 Corvette E-Rays just landed in Australia. We talked about that, I think, the last time we were together. These cars are expensive down there. I don't know how much they will be embraced over the regular Stingray, but what they did was they had a race down there with the Australian supercars. They were giving hot laps to people that were there at the event. 7-time Supercars champion Jamie Weincup took Australian Olympic gold medalist swimmer Ariane Titmus. I hope I spelled her name right. But she went for a hot lap on the temporary course that's set up in Queensland. And as you can imagine, the right-hand drive Corvette E-Ray with its all-wheel drive provided plenty of excitement. I like hearing the wind-up of it. It's a fun video to watch because Jamie's really throwing this car around, and the all-wheel drive definitely responds very well to it. I would definitely check out that video. Again, there's some more videos of the E-Rays in Australia. You can find those both on CorvetteBlogger and YouTube.
That sounds great, buddy. Well, let's take our first break. When we come back, it's Corvette Racing and Corvette Rumors up next here on Corvette Today.
We all know that wheels make the car. Wheelcraft's PVD chrome finish in bright chrome or black chrome will take your Corvette to new levels. And it comes with a 5-year warranty. Durability is a defining feature of the Wheelcraft finish. Their PVD chrome is superior to traditional chrome, with a finish that is brake dust resistant and cleans effortlessly with soap and water. Wheelcraft offers factory wheel exchange for select C4 through C8 models, or they can apply the PVD finish to your current wheels. No matter what generation you own, Wheelcraft will transform the look of your Corvette. With every Corvette comes a unique story, and Wheelcraft has embraced this idea. When you purchase your new set of wheels, you receive a lifetime membership to the Wheelcraft Pit Crew, granting you access to your own page on Wheelcraft's website, where you can post pictures and tell your Corvette story. Visit our website at wheelcraft.com or call 833-639-4231. Arrive in style with Wheelcraft.
Hey Corvette lovers, Brian Sarf here from IntelliSense Family Office, formerly known as True Wealth & Company. I want to share a personal story today about my Uncle George. He was a lifelong Corvette lover, one of the first members of the Horseless Carriage Club in St. Louis, and a retiree from General Motors. He worked at Bowling Green Assembly for years, and he planned to rebuild Corvettes during his retirement. But his life was cut short by an untimely death at the age of 64. Uncle George and my aunt were smart, college-educated people, but their investment advisor never looked holistically at their wealth plan and didn't ask critical questions about how assets were titled, who the beneficiaries were, or how to take a pension, or if they had a will or trust. When my Uncle George died, my aunt spent the next 26 months in probate court, spending thousands of dollars on attorney fees. All of this could have been avoided with a few hours of financial planning and working with the right advisor. This experience drove me into this business. I knew that there had to be a better way, and I vowed to find it. Today, with IntelliSense, we do 6 key things for our clients: help you make smart decisions with your money, pay less in taxes, protect your assets, ensure a smooth wealth transfer, magnify charitable gifts, and plan for longevity. Just like maintaining your Corvette, managing your wealth requires attention and expertise. If you're ready to secure your financial future, visit IntelliSense.com or reach out to us today at 913-653-8783. I'm Brian Sarf, and I look forward to helping you protect your dream by learning from the lessons from my family. Investment advisory services offered through IntelliSense Investment Solutions Incorporated, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Rev up your ride with the ultimate upgrade. The Radiator Grill Store is your go-to destination for top-notch C8 Corvette Stingray, Z06, and E-Ray accessories. Elevate your style with custom-painted engine bay covers, sleek front splitters, and side skirts that scream sophistication. Keep your C8 protected with premium Radiator Grill screens. Stand out from the crowd at car shows and beyond. Use code CT10 for an exclusive 10% discount off your total purchase at RadiatorGrillStore.com. Don't miss out on turning heads. Upgrade your Corvette today.
For the best in CB Stingray, Z06, and E-Ray aftermarket carbon fiber replacement components and body kits, check out RacingSportConcepts.com or call 1-800-815-3751. Tell them Steve sent you to save 10% with coupon code Corvette Today.
This is the Corvette Today podcast with Steve Garrett.
Thanks for checking out Corvette Today on podcast and YouTube. It's the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. I know you want your Corvette looking its best. Dress it up with bright chrome or black chrome wheels. Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or do a wheel exchange, and you get a 5-year warranty. So visit wheelcraft.com today or give them a call. 833-639-4231. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is my buddy Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. Every other week, we keep you current and up to date on what's happening with America's sports car. In segment 2, we always cover Corvette Racing and Corvette rumors. In Corvette Racing, Keith, we have some big personnel changes coming for Corvette Racing as well as Cadillac, don't we?
Yeah, our friend Doug Feehan, when he was the program manager for Corvette Racing, he'd do his seminars in the Corvette corrals, and he would always talk about cascade engineering. And that's where improvements to the street car made a better race car, and then the improvements they made to that race car would then be turned around and make a better street car. We saw that C5 to C6 to C7, and now we're in C8. So for General Motors, this also applies to personnel, because what they're going to do is they're moving some people around. So after 3 years as managing General Motors sports car racing program, Laura Weintraub-Klauser is now headed to another assignment, this time on the production side. This is all part of a corporate strategy of using lessons learned on the racetrack to make production vehicles better. She will become an engineering group leader for the global hardware systems and integration team. I don't really know what all that job entails, Steve, but it sounds pretty complicated, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
In another change, Christy Bagney will move from her current role as Corvette Z06 GT3R program manager to being a senior analyst for GM corporate strategy. Taking their places are going to be 2 new ladies. Jessica Dane comes from Australia with extensive experience in racing, both as a racer and then on the management side, will be taking over for the Corvette GT3 programs, while Keely Bozen will take over as the program manager duties at Cadillac Racing. And then, of course, overseeing all of them is Mark Stilo, who remains as GM's director of motorsports competition and engineering. So again, it sounds like exactly what Doug used to talk about, cascade engineering. You're taking these people, racing is learning by fire, in the heat of competition. Taking those skills and then applying it to general production is a way to further enhance the whole process. It sounds like that's exactly what they're doing. They're bringing in some new personnel who will learn it, and then hopefully they'll have a chance to move up as well. Like you said, some really big changes, but at the heart of the Corvette Racing program, a lot of that stuff will all stay the same with the personnel from Pratt Miller Motorsports, of course, the drivers and the crew team there as well.
Very cool. Yeah, lots of moving parts there, too. Also in Corvette Racing, Keith, 2 podium finishes in Bahrain to finish off the season. That's awesome.
Yeah, final race of the 2024 World Endurance Championship held at the 6 Hours of Bahrain. TF Sports number 81 and 82 Corvette Z06s really had their best race of the season. Both cars leading the LMGT3 class multiple times. In fact, the 81 Z06 led for a total of 121 laps during the race. So they were right up there in contention. In fact, they could have been a win had it been for a safety car, which I think split up the groups there at the end. And they were able to get back all the way from the 8th place, I believe, up to 2nd place, but just couldn't make it to that 1st place to take the win. So yeah, both 81 and 82 finished 2nd and 3rd in class. Best finish so far for the team in the World Endurance Championship. Congratulations to them. They're actually going to be returning next year for the 2025 season, which kicks off February 28th in Qatar.
That sounds great. In the rumor section, we had a really cool video from our buddy Mike Brink at Brink of Speed comparing the competition to the upcoming ZR1, didn't we?
When you've got 1,064 horsepower and a top speed of 233 miles per hour, the thinking about who you're going to kind of go up against definitely changes, Oh, yeah. Now, we see cars costing hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars or more than the current king of the hill. Some of those names are like Rimac, Bugatti, even Koenigsegg. On the cheaper side, and I say on the cheaper side, we're still talking hundreds of thousands to $1 million, are the McLaren W1, Ferrari F80, and the Lamborghini Revuelto. It's really going to be interesting to see the ZR1 tested against some of these supercars. And believe me, there's people out there with these cars that would love to see how they will do against the budget car, the ZR1. I just know it's going to kick butt. So I'm really looking forward to this. And we just need that car to get out here and get in those hands. Boy, YouTube's not going to be the same for Corvette fans.
That's for sure. And it's a really good video. Mike brings up some good cars, even Pagani. It's really well worth watching. Check that out. All right, Keith, time for our final break, buddy. When we come back, it's the lighter side of Corvette coming up next here on Corvette Today.
Are you ready for a better insurance policy without the Corvette tax? With Agreed Value Protection, the value of your collector vehicle will never change. Plus, you'll save money. Get a quick quote at ncminsurance.com.
The National Corvette Restorer Society is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. 50 years of affirming and promoting the preservation and restoration of the Corvette. 50 years as the foremost Corvette collector car organization for building value with its prestigious awards. Have you ever considered joining NCRS? Over 70,000 people have. We're so much more than just the nuts and bolts. The NCRS flight judging program can and often does increase the value of America's sports car by researching and publishing the leading tech manuals and judging guides for the 1953 through 2007 Corvettes, by training the best judges, and by hosting local, regional, and national judging events. And when you join, you'll get award-winning magazines like Corvette Restorer and Driveline all throughout the year. Joining is simple and easy. Just go to ncrs.org and sign up. There are NCRS chapters all throughout the U.S. and all around the world. Chances are there's a local chapter near you. So join NCRS today at ncrs.org. We come for the Corvettes. We stay for the friendships made along the way.
When you want to buy a Corvette, or any Chevrolet for that matter, get yours from Hendrick Chevrolet Shawnee Mission, located in Kansas City. Hendrick Chevrolet is the largest Corvette dealership and showroom in the Midwest. With a knowledgeable sales staff and Corvette sales specialists on hand, they'll help you build the Corvette of your dreams, and they ship nationwide. With Corvette certified master mechanics on site and a huge parts department with over 24,000 parts and $2 million in inventory, Hendrick Chevrolet is well equipped to take care of your every need. From sales to service to collision repair, Hendrick Chevrolet has you covered. Visit ChevyUSA.com or call 913-384-1550.
VetteFinders.com is the Internet's original Corvette classified ads website, with classified ads starting at just $25, and every ad runs until your Corvette is sold. If you're in the market for a Corvette, VetteFinders.com has over 500 Corvettes for sale from all around the USA and Canada, and covering all 8 generations. Visit VetteFinders.com, the Internet's destination for buying and selling Corvettes. That's VETTE Finders.com.
And now, back to Corvette Today with your host and my husband, Steve Garrett.
Hey, thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. I know you want your Corvette looking its best, so dress it up with bright chrome or black chrome wheels. Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or do a wheel exchange, and you get a 5-year warranty. So visit wheelcraft.com today and check them out. You can also give them a call at 833-639-4231. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is my partner every other week, Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. Don't forget, if you want a deeper dive into any of the stories Keith and I cover, you can always go to CorvetteBlogger.com. In this final segment, we always talk about the lighter side of Corvette. Keith, I was real excited to see this. Motor Week got a hold of an E-Ray and did a review on it.
Yeah, I think it's the 44th season opener for Motor Week. They've been around that long. I know I grew up as a kid, with 3 or 4 channels, and, there was nothing on Sunday morning sometimes. You'd have Motor Week there. It was just something you'd watch,
Yeah.
They took a new E-Ray. They did some road testing first, driving around the countryside, and then they took it to the track where they were able to do some launches. I think they said it was still 100 degrees. It was very humid, but they were still able to do a 2.8-second sprint to 60 miles an hour, and then an 11-second flat quarter mile at 127 miles an hour. They really seem to like it. Again, I think back to Motor Week where 30 years ago, the cars had 260 or 300 horsepower. Now the E-Ray, 655 horsepower. And of course, the hybrid setup with the front motor and the rear engine. Pretty cool there. You can actually watch that test. Go into YouTube, search for Motor Week, or you can watch it here on Corvette Blogger as well.
That's cool. It was a good run. It really was. I enjoyed watching it. It brought back memories. I did the same thing as you did. 3 channels is all we had. You watch Motor Week. What's the guy's name that's the host of it?
John Davis.
John Davis. Yep. John's an icon. All right. Mecum Auctions sold the last C7 ZR1 recently for $410,000. I know those cars are expensive, but wow.
Yeah, this wasn't on YouTube, so I called our buddies up at Mecum. I said, hey, listen, you got to talk to your production people. Get this car on YouTube so we can share it because I know people want to see it. This auction happened back in September. Mecum Dallas, the very last C7 Corvette ZR1 produced was offered. Arctic White, one of 22 ZR1s finished in adrenaline red with black suede interior. The only thing lacking on this car was a non-ZTK, meaning no high wing, but it did come with the very desirable 7-speed manual transmission. And, Steve, it had just 16 miles on the odometer. So you know there'd be a collector there just wanting it.
Oh, yeah.
We weren't disappointed. The video shows that the Hammer fell at $360,000. The out-the-door price ended up being a record $410,000. We say record. The only one that we ever saw beat that price was, again, the very first ZR1 that sold for charity. So this was a regular one here, 16 miles on the clock. And yeah, it sold for some big money. You can watch the auction video, the ZR1 on Mecum at YouTube or CorvetteBlogger. I also wanted to mention that Steve and I are going to Mecum's Kissimmee auction in January. Last year, they did a Corvette day where they gave us like a tour with a group behind the scenes. We saw some really cool stuff there. We're going to do it again. I think on Friday, January 10th is what our tentative date is so far. We'll have some additional details coming up as we get closer. But if you're going to be in Central Florida for Mecum Kissimmee, we would love to have you guys join us for a little fun in action on Corvette Day.
Corvette Day is Friday, January 10th. We'd love to see you all there. Also, Keith, there's a new movie coming out called Red One, and I think The Rock is in there. They have a red Mist C8 Corvette in the movie.
Yeah, so Steve, I was watching my Buccaneers play your Chiefs about a week ago, and first let me say that the NFL really needs to change those overtime rules because we lost on a coin flip.
Right.
You lose the coin flip, and then we lost the game without even getting out on the thing. But anyways, during the game, there was a trailer for a new Christmas movie, like you said, with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and then Captain America's Chris Evans. The premise is that Santa Claus, a.k.a. Red One, has been abducted, and an elite team of Santa's helpers must rescue him. So I'm thinking, okay, another Christmas movie. And the Christmas movies are actually getting better these days, more action, I think, than what we're normally used to. But what really piqued our interest in this was the trailer where Chris Evans is told to grab a Hot Wheels toy, and you see him grabbing the package off the rack and then throws it on the ground, and then The Rock uses like this special ray to turn the toy into reality. And that toy then goes from being a little Hot Wheels car up to a full-size red Mist C8 Corvette Stingray. Once they have the real car, the duo uses that to pursue those who are going to get coal in their stockings if Santa's helpers can rescue Red One in time to save Christmas. It looks like a fun movie. It's actually an Amazon movie, but it's only going to be in theaters. Opens November 15th this week. Looks like a lot of fun. Definitely check that out, if not for anything other than your American sports car has a featured role in the film.
That's awesome. Also, Keith, we got the new top 10 for Corvette dealerships that ran through October 31st. Was there any changes in the top 10?
No, not really. What's really changing is the fact that McMulkin has this insurmountable lead. 1,609 Corvettes sold over the first 10 months of this year.
Wow.
They're averaging 160 cars per month, and no dealer is even close. In fact, number 10 on the list has sold only 160 cars for the year.
Wow.
First, again, as McMulkin. Second, Ciocca Corvette of Atlantic City. They have 905 Corvettes sold for the year. And then our friend Mike Furman and Criswell Chevrolet are third at 445 for the year. You can see that list doesn't look like to be changing all that much. We've been able to come up with like a top 50 or top 100 to give us a more expanded look at the Corvette sales. Mm-hmm. We generally can hopefully get those in January again, so stay tuned for that if we can.
That sounds good. Our final story is Keith Cornett and his Hysteria Purple E-Ray with a hardtop convertible. Buddy, tell me how you like the car. Tell me about the whole buying experience. I know you got the car with Mike Furman.
And that was one of the things I really wanted to do as opposed to doing like a museum delivery. Of course, been to the museum 100 times, not taking away any from that experience. If you're a first-time Corvette owner and you're new to the car, I would definitely say do a museum delivery.
Yep.
But, I've been doing these Sunday posts with Mike Furman going back almost 10 years now. He's one of our best sponsors here on the website. So for me, it was important. I wanted to go through that experience as well. I took delivery of my 2025 Corvette E-Ray on November 1st. That was last Friday. We drove it home back to Tampa over 2 days. It was just a blast. We stopped in Savannah, showed off the car to my mom, my sisters, and her family was there. And then Saturday afternoon, we got home. My trip was 940 miles. We averaged 22.7 miles to the gallon.
Nice.
Which I think is pretty good.
Yeah.
I felt like it's pretty good. I kind of babied the car because we were still in the break-in mode. But the nice thing is I broke in that car the very first day with a 600-mile trip from Baltimore to Savannah. Geez, Steve, I don't know what else to say. The car is so fun to drive. It's very smooth. I don't really have a reference as this is my first C8 Corvette, but you can really feel the difference with the all-wheel drive, especially at low speeds. You feel that regenerative charging. It's almost like driving a manual, like being in third gear and then coming up to a stoplight and you just kind of let off and you let the engine slow you down. You definitely feel that with the E-Ray. I thought that was pretty cool. Now, again, my car is Hysteria Purple. I think it's a beautiful color. I really like how it color shifts depending on the light. I call it like an indigo blue in the sun, in the shade or out of the sun. It's basically grape. My friend that calls it Grimace, and that's kind of the name that's kind of sticking there because a purple character is what you would expect. In fact, our first stop on the way home was at a McDonald's. Took a picture of the car outside of McDonald's. You know, the very first stop the C8 Corvette ever made outside of General Motors. Remember, they took the car to a McDonald's in Cadillac, Michigan, and it just so happened to be photographed by road and track photographers as the first official sighting of the C8 Corvette. So we thought that was fun. My car also has the bright chrome badging, which shows up well against the stereo, bright red brake calipers, which I was a little nervous about, but go really well with the car. People were saying I should do yellow. Yellow would be great with this car, but I like the performance aspects of red calipers, and it really shows it off well.
Yep.
Inside, I've got a sky cool gray two-tone interior with matching red seatbelts. Now I'm just kind of doing the learning of it. You know, I've been home with it for about a week. I've taken it out a couple times, just driving it around. Haven't done any of the fun stuff yet, like launch control. That'll come. And in fact, I've got my first car show I'm going to take it to, I think, next Friday at a Chevy dealership down here. So looking forward to that. I know you asked me about, hey, you got any carbon fiber on there, Keith? I said, yeah, I got the level 1 package. And I'm not really loading up on stuff yet, but I did do some stuff. I did obviously scrape armor screens at the dealership. And I also had the ACS composite rock guards put on for the car for my trip home. So again, just trying to offer a little bit of protection there. I ordered a set of the full weather floor liners with the Jake logo from our friends at Corvette Central, and also got a car cover coming my way. So not quite the 19 boxes you had, Steve, but I find myself perusing different parts and accessories dealers while sitting there watching TV, and I'm like, So I got a little list going too of things that I might be adding. It's a lot of fun. I'm very excited to be a new C8 Corvette owner. Just really looking forward to learning all about this car and what it can do, its capabilities, because it's a lot of fun and it's just so beautiful. That's all I can say about it. It's just so beautiful.
Buddy, congratulations again. Many happy miles and smiles with that car. I know you and your wife will have a great time with that car. The bad thing is you and I are best friends. I rub off on people real easily, so I'm sure there's more carbon fiber in your future.
Well, I've been getting emails, and I expect to get some more emails of, hey, look at this or look at that. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I see how people get so excited over it. And so I'm just one of you guys, you know, just out there enjoying a brand new car and seeing what it can do. I love it. I can't believe it's here.
Well, congratulations again, buddy. Thanks for being back on the show, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks.
All right. And as my plaque says on the interior, keep waving.
Thanks again for listening and watching Corvette Today. And be sure to tell your family, friends, and other Corvette enthusiasts about the Corvette Today show. And thanks to our sponsors, Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com to learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-639-4231. Soul Performance Products at soulpp.com, the official performance exhaust of Corvette Today. Ciocca Corvette at CIOCCA-Corvette.com. E5 Wheels at E5Wheels.com. IntelliSense at IntelliSense.com. Also, Aerolarri Wheels. Get $100 off your purchase with the new promo code CT111 at Aerolarri.com. Racing Sport Concepts at RacingSportConcepts.com. And Hendrick Chevrolet in Kansas City at ChevyUSA.com.
Thanks for checking out Corvette Today on podcast and YouTube. If you'd like to contact Steve with ideas for Corvette Today, you can email him at stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Garrett has 2 R's and 2 T's. That's stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Also, sign up for email notifications at corvettetoday.ck.page. Follow Steve and the show on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Threads at Steve Garrett DJ. Thanks again for listening and watching Corvette Today.